The City of Angels, a place known for its sunshine and dreams, found itself grappling with a nightmare in early November 2023. The skies, usually a brilliant blue, turned a menacing shade of orange as multiple wildfires tore through the region. From the luxurious homes of Pacific Palisades to the rugged terrain of the Angeles National Forest, the flames spared no one. This wasn't just another California wildfire, this was a full-blown disaster movie unfolding in real time. The events of November 6th to 9th, 2023, will forever be etched in the memory of Angelenos. The speed and ferocity of the fires were shocking, even for a city familiar with the threat of wildfires. Thousands were forced to flee their homes, with only the clothes on their backs, and the hope that their houses would still be standing when they returned. This is the story of those 4 harrowing days, a testament to the destructive power of nature and the unyielding spirit of a city tested by fire. It's a story of loss and devastation, but also of courage, resilience, and the enduring power of community. November 6th dawned like any other day in Los Angeles, with warm temperatures and clear skies. The city was waking up to another beautiful morning, with residents going about their daily routines, unaware of the impending disaster. The sun rose over the skyline, casting a golden hue over the bustling metropolis, a stark contrast to the chaos that would soon unfold. But by midday, a sense of unease began to settle over the city. The usual hum of activity was tinged with an undercurrent of anxiety. People started to notice the unusual dryness in the air, and the news began to report on the increasing wind speeds. The Santa Ana winds, notorious for their ferocity, were picking up, and with them, the threat of wildfire loomed ever larger. Dry winds, known as Santa Anas, were whipping through the canyons, creating perfect conditions for a wildfire. These winds, often referred to as devil winds, are infamous for their ability to turn a small spark into a raging inferno. The dry vegetation, already parched from months of little to no rain, swayed ominously, as if anticipating the flames that were soon to come. At 10:30 in the morning, those fears were realized. A news alert flashed across screens announcing the outbreak of a fire near a state park. The initial reports were hopeful, suggesting that the blaze was small and manageable. However, the conditions were far from ideal, and the potential for rapid spread was high. A small brush fire was reported near a state park, with the potential to spread rapidly. Firefighters were quick to respond, but the combination of dry brush and strong winds made their task incredibly challenging. The flames, initially contained to a small area, began to leap and dance, driven by the relentless gusts. What began as a controllable blaze quickly morphed into an unstoppable inferno. The fire grew with alarming speed, feeding on the dry vegetation and fanned by the powerful winds. Within minutes it had spread beyond the initial containment lines, becoming a monstrous force of nature that seemed to have a life of its own. Fanned by the relentless winds, the fire raced through the dry brush of Pacific Palisades, consuming everything in its path. Homes, trees, and wildlife were all at the mercy of the flames. The fire moved with a terrifying speed, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Residents watched in horror as the inferno advanced, knowing that their lives would be forever changed. By early afternoon, over 1,200 acres had been scorched and thousands of residents were under mandatory evacuation orders. The once vibrant landscape was now a charred wasteland, and the air was thick with smoke. Families hurriedly packed their belongings, fleeing their homes in a desperate bid to escape the advancing flames. The sense of urgency was palpable, as everyone understood the gravity of the situation. The situation was dire, and it was about to get much worse. Firefighters, already stretched thin, battled the intense flames with everything they had. Emergency vehicles raced through the streets, sirens blaring, as the sky turned an ominous shade of orange. The scale of the disaster was becoming clear, and the city braced itself for what was to come. As if one raging wildfire wasn't enough, a second fire, dubbed the Eaton Canyon Fire, erupted in the Altadena foothills late that afternoon. This new blaze, fueled by the same treacherous winds, added another layer of chaos and danger to an already catastrophic situation. The flames spread quickly, threatening more homes and lives and stretching the already overwhelmed firefighting resources even thinner. This new blaze, fueled by the same treacherous winds, added another layer of chaos and danger to an already catastrophic situation. The sight of multiple fires burning simultaneously was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The wind-driven flames created a chaotic scene, with firefighters and residents alike struggling to keep up with the rapidly changing conditions. By nightfall, With hurricane-force winds grounding firefighting aircraft, the city of Angels was literally and figuratively under siege. The once clear skies were now filled with smoke and ash, and the glow of the fires could be seen for miles. The city, known for its resilience, faced one of its greatest challenges yet, as the battle against the wildfires continued into the night. Wednesday, November 7th brought no respite for the beleaguered city. The fires that had started days earlier showed no signs of abating, and the situation was growing more dire by the hour. The fires, now raging out of control, continued their westward march, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Entire forests were being consumed, and the flames showed no mercy to anything in their path. Dense smoke blanketed Los Angeles, turning day into night and making it nearly impossible to breathe. Residents were advised to stay indoors, but even inside, the air quality was hazardous. The air was thick with the acrid smell of burning wood and the unsettling sound of sirens. Emergency services were stretched to their limits, responding to calls from all over the city. Reports from the front lines painted a grim picture. Firefighters were battling not just the flames but also exhaustion and the relentless heat. The Eaton Canyon fire had already consumed over 5,000 acres, leaving behind a charred and desolate landscape. The once lush canyon was now a blackened wasteland, while the Pacific Palisades fire was rapidly approaching the 10,000-acre mark. Communities in its path were on high alert, with many residents already evacuated. Thousands of homes had been reduced to smoldering rubble, leaving countless families homeless. The loss was not just material, it was deeply personal for those who had lost everything, and the death toll was beginning to rise. Emergency responders worked tirelessly, but the scale of the disaster was overwhelming. At a somber press conference, officials confirmed 2 fatalities in the Eaton Canyon fire and declared a state of emergency for the entire region. The gravity of the situation was clear to all. Despite the valiant efforts of over 7,000 firefighters, the situation remained critical. They were heroes on the front lines, but even their best efforts seemed insufficient against the relentless inferno. The relentless winds, coupled with the dry conditions, made it nearly impossible to contain the blaze. Every gust of wind seemed to breathe new life into the flames, spreading them further and faster. Adding to the sense of urgency, the fire jumped the 405 freeway in the evening, threatening the densely populated neighborhoods of the Hollywood Hills. The sight of flames leaping across the freeway was both terrifying and surreal. As darkness fell, the city braced itself for another long and uncertain night. Residents prepared for the worst, gathering emergency supplies and hoping for a miracle that would bring an end to the devastation. Thursday, November 8th, dawned with a glimmer of hope. The sky, painted with hues of orange and pink, seemed to promise a reprieve from the relentless inferno that had been raging for days. The Santa Ana winds, which had been fueling the fire's relentless advance, finally began to subside. These winds, notorious for their dry and hot gusts, had been a formidable adversary, pushing the flames with an almost malevolent force. This allowed firefighting aircraft, grounded for the past 2 days, to take to the skies and begin dousing the flames with water and fire retardant. The sight of these aircraft, soaring above the inferno, brought a renewed sense of determination to the ground crews. On the ground, exhausted firefighters, many of whom had been battling the blaze for over 48 hours straight, finally had a chance to regroup and strategize. Their faces, marked with soot and fatigue, told stories of bravery and resilience. While the calmer winds provided a much-needed window of opportunity, the situation remained dire. The landscape, once lush and green, now lay in charred ruins, a stark reminder of nature's fury. The Eaton Canyon fire had scorched over 10,600 acres and was still at 0% containment. The sheer scale of the devastation was overwhelming, with entire ecosystems reduced to ash. The Pacific Palisades fire, though slowed by the decreased winds, had ballooned to a staggering 177,000 acres. The fire's relentless march towards the coast threatened countless homes and lives. The human cost of the disaster was also becoming tragically clear. Families were torn apart and communities were displaced, seeking refuge in emergency shelters that quickly filled to capacity. The death toll had risen to 5, and tens of thousands remained displaced from their homes. The emotional toll was immeasurable, with many losing not just their homes, but a lifetime of memories. In a race against time, firefighters focused their efforts on protecting critical infrastructure. including the Mount Wilson Observatory, a vital communications hub that was directly in the fire's path. Their efforts were a testament to their dedication and skill. The observatory, home to powerful telescopes and communication antennas used by law enforcement and media outlets, was deemed too important to lose. Its preservation was not just a matter of scientific importance, but also of maintaining crucial communication lines during this crisis. In the midst of uncertainty, a ray of light emerges. It's in these moments that we find strength we never knew we had. Hope, no matter how small, can ignite a powerful change. Even when the path seems unclear, remember, every step forward is a step towards a brighter future. In the face of adversity, stories of courage and resilience shine brightly. These are the tales of individuals who, despite overwhelming odds, found the strength to persevere. Their bravery serves as a beacon of hope, reminding us all of the incredible power of the human spirit. Disasters leave behind more than just physical destruction. The human cost is profound, affecting lives in ways that are often unimaginable. Families torn apart, livelihoods lost, and communities forever changed. It's a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of coming together in times of need. Preparedness can make all the difference when disaster strikes. By understanding the risks and taking proactive measures, communities can better withstand the impact. It's about having a plan, staying informed, and working together to ensure safety and resilience. In the face of peril, preparation is our best defense. After the storm has passed, the process of rebuilding begins. It's a journey of recovery that requires patience, determination, and unity. Communities come together, drawing on shared strength and support to rebuild what was lost. It's a testament to human resilience and the unbreakable spirit of community.